So, you're getting ready to have a baby and maybe feeling a little anxious about childbirth. You are definitely not alone. This quick guide is all about turning that fear into real, informed confidence. We're going to walk through what you need to know to feel totally prepared for your birth, done your way.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? That fear of the unknown is a really powerful thing, especially with something as huge as bringing a baby into the world. But here's the secret weapon: knowledge. That's exactly what we're here to do: arm you with the information that helps you feel empowered and in the driver's seat.
All right, so where do we even begin? Let's start with the very first hints your body gives you that things are, well, changing. We're talking about those pre-labor signs, the little clues that the final countdown has officially started. Okay, now you can think of these signs as a kind of choose your own adventure. You might get all of them or just a couple. You could wake up one day with this insane burst of energy, organizing closets like a pro. Yep, that's the nesting instinct. Or you might suddenly realize, hey, I can breathe again. But you also have to pee every 5 minutes. That's the baby dropping. And then, of course, there are the more personal signs, like losing your mucus plug or feeling more of those practice contractions. It's all your body doing its incredible prep work. You know that dramatic scene in every movie where the woman's water breaks in a huge gush in the middle of a restaurant? Yeah, Hollywood has kind of lied to us. That only happens for about 10% of women. For most people, it's way more subtle, and it often happens when you're already well into labor, not as the big starting signal. Okay, so you're feeling some tightening, some cramps, and now comes the big question that keeps everyone up at night. Is this it? Is this the real thing? Let's break down how you can tell the difference between a practice run and the main event. Think of Braxton Hicks as your body's opening act. They're unpredictable, they don't really have a pattern, and they usually calm down if you say drink some water or change positions. But true labor, that's the headliner. Those contractions show up with a rhythm. They get stronger, they get closer together, and they do not care if you walk, sit, or stand on your head. A huge clue is also where you feel them. The warm-up is usually just in the front, but the main show often starts in your back and wraps all the way around. This right here is the magic number you need to remember, the 5-1-1 rule. It's basically your green light. When your contractions are consistently coming every 5 minutes, lasting for about 1 full minute, and this has been going on for at least an hour straight, that pattern means you're in active labor. It's time to call your provider and probably head to the hospital. All right, you've made it. You're at the hospital or birth center, and now the whole focus kind of shifts. It goes from what's happening to me to how do I want to participate in this? This is where you really step into your power. Look, there is no right or wrong way to give birth. It's a whole spectrum. You might be leaning toward a more low-tech vibe, using things like movement, a warm shower, or breathing techniques. Or you might feel way more confident and calm knowing that medical pain relief, like an epidural, is part of your plan. The most important thing is knowing your options and feeling free to choose what is truly right for you. This is so, so important. This is where your partner or your support person becomes an absolute superhero. Because when you're in the zone doing the hard work of labor, it's tough to speak up for yourself. They become your voice. They're the one asking questions, reminding the staff of your preferences, and just making sure you feel totally supported and heard. But let's be real, birth doesn't always go exactly to plan. So what happens when you're in the middle of it all and a doctor suggests something that wasn't in your birth plan? It's really hard to make a big decision under that kind of pressure. Luckily, there's a super simple tool to help you navigate it. I want you to meet your new best friend for labor, the BAR acronym. It is such a simple but powerful way to get clarity. Just remember to ask about the benefits, the alternatives, and the risks. BAR. It gives you and your partner a solid framework to work from so you can feel confident in any decision you have to make. Okay, so let's actually use this BAR framework. We're going to quickly touch on a few common procedures so you'll know what they are and what kind of questions you might want to ask if they come up. You might hear someone mention an amniotomy. That's just the fancy medical name for breaking your water. They use a little plastic hook, and it's a very common way to speed things up. But it's good to know that once that water is broken, a clock starts ticking. That protective barrier for the baby is gone, which puts a bit of a timeline on the birth. And then there's Pitocin.
You can think of it like a jump start for your uterus. It's the synthetic version of oxytocin, the natural love hormone, and it can be a really crucial tool if labor slows down. The main thing to know is that contractions on Pitocin can feel a lot more intense than your body's natural ones, which is why it usually comes with continuous monitoring for you and the baby.
Okay, this one's a big one, the episiotomy. This used to be just a routine thing that happened during birth, but the research has evolved and now we know it's often better to let the body tear naturally, as it can sometimes heal better than a surgical cut. It's a perfect example of why it's so important to have these conversations and be an active part of the decision-making team.
Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, pain. It's a huge part of the childbirth conversation, and it's something a lot of us worry about. The best news is you have choices. Let's look at the two main medical options for pain relief.
So what's the difference between IV meds and an epidural? Here's an easy way to think about it. IV narcotics are kind of like taking the edge off. They can make you feel a little sleepy and relaxed, but you'll definitely still feel the contractions. An epidural, on the other hand, is designed to give excellent, often complete, pain relief from the waist down. The trade-off? With IV meds, you can still get up and move around, but with an epidural, you'll be in bed. It's all about what matters most to you in that moment. After all this information, after all the details and decisions, I really want you to hear this one thing. Your body was made for this. It knows what to do. So trust yourself, trust all the preparation you've done, and trust the team you've chosen to have around you. You can do this.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. What does a satisfying birth experience look like for you? It's not about being perfect or having everything go by the book. It's about feeling heard, feeling respected, and feeling like an active participant. So dream about that. Write it down. Talk about it. Because you absolutely deserve a birth you can look back on with a sense of pride and joy.